Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Daytona International Super Speedway as we get ready for the first group in Daytona 500 qualifying. I am joined by Vince Freeze, who is ready for these two 15-minute sessions as we look to see who will be on the front row for the 2022 NRSL Digital Storm Cup Series Daytona 500. This group has all of the go home qualifying drivers as well as 27th to 30th in last year's point standings, as the first two cars out on track are rookies Reggie Fogelman and Bradley Ream.
Let's go, baby. Let's get down to business. It is Daytona 500 qualifying day. A lot of new faces, though. Let's see. I did say a rookie would win the pole, and you said a veteran. I do remember those preseason predictions, but we'll see how this grouping goes and see if 27 through 30th, the guys who have a little more experience in points, can help these rookies out and find some speed here at Daytona.
Reggie Fogelman taking over the 4. Lane Sanders drove that car last season. He is now at Richard Childress Racing. The 88 was a Chevy last year. James Ellison behind the wheel of the 88 Chevy for Junior Motorsports. Now out of Yates Racing, a Ford, and Bradley Ream, who has jumped over the Thor Sport in the Jerky Pro Truck Series, will drive this 88 machine this year, putting his foot in the door of the Digital Storm Cup Series, as we see Henry Sanford in that brand spanking new number 06 Dr. Pepper Chevy. That's for S3 Motorsports. As he makes his rookie campaign. There's Lane Sanders on the apron in the 31. Priya McShane back in the 41 for Storthaus Racing. We see RJ Bishop back in the 21. Slightly changed paint scheme here for the Rowdy Energy scheme. Not much changed, but there are some changes on that machine. Derek Hamill back in the 32 for Go Fast. Diego Yepes over to the 18 for Joe Gibbs. Mason Dagger, another new driver. He's in the 34 for Front Row. Christian Russell also with Front Row in the 38. In the car that won this race last year, Osmain Hamid behind the wheel then. No longer even in either series. Roy Ribbleton, another driver, putting his foot in the door. He drives the 43 for Evernham Petty Motorsports, which won the pole with the 44 last year. That car no longer running. But no doubt wanting to get the pole again is EPM. As you see, one of the drivers who finished top 30 in the points but is in this session is Levi McIntyre. We got Christian Vargas in the 42 for Chip Ganassi. Stephen Colon now in the 47 for JTG. Blaine Saylor, another rookie. Trey Smith in the 36. That's Vargas's old ride. Laura Chung in the 20, Trey Smith's old ride. Colt Hudson in the 93. Scott Roush in the 6, got a top 10 in the 500 last year. Jack Holton in the 13, Logan Williams in the 11. Brent James in the 83. There's Audra Baranowskis, our Jerky Pro Truck Series champion, driving the 1 for Chip Ganassi. And so Bishop is another one of those drivers who got top 30 in the points. There's Adam Flickinger. He did not. There's Vince Freeze. He's the other. He's driving the car that finished top 30 in owner points with Sam Young. And Henry Sanford's 06 was what was the Seth Cole Racing 71 car. We got some groups here and there here, Vince. I got 3 cars right here, 2 and 3. Where is RJ Bishop? He is in this 4-car group. He just set the fastest lap of 44.925, but no really big groups, Vince. And, it's going to take something like what Priya just did. Priya was behind Christian Russell, and they were single file. It's going to take something like that to set a fast time. I cannot remember what the fast time was for Stephen Colon last year, but I believe it was something like what Trey Smith just set. Trey Smith with a 44.607. I want to say pole here last year was like a 44.5 or 4. That's Derek Hamill to the top with a 5.44.
I want to say somewhere around there. It could have been 42, but 44.2 maybe at the low end. But right now, it looks like the goal is to have a 4 or 5 car pack. I don't see anybody getting bigger than 5 or 6 at most. You see maybe these guys, but they keep going side by side.
Derek Hamill on top with a 44.544. Trey Smith is second with a 6.07. Now, those would be quote-unquote veteran drivers, Vince, but both of those drivers didn't run the full season last year because first year with Go Home qualifying, and rookies did not do well at all last year.
Like I said, they're learning the package. They're learning how to race as these guys single out.
Oh, and look who just jumped to the top of the board. Number 1 Jerky Pro Truck Series champ Baranowskis with a 44.508.
Yeah, it'll be hard to beat from this group, but it might get a little quicker here if they catch someone.
Currently drafting up to the 83 of Brent James. Audra's getting a heck of a run right now. If she plays it right, she might be looking at another fast lap. No real draft support, though, right behind her, Hamill. Maybe Hamill will benefit most from this.
Going 3 wide on the outside with RJ and James, but we'll see Baranowskis.
Oh, Baranowskis, yes, 365, but Hamill 332. RJ Bishop 365. A tie for second. And apparently going into the 4th decimal place, it goes to the 1.
These guys are just staying cool. I don't see any other packs right now forming up. They're just, it might not be a bad idea if you're not going to win the pole here. No, there's a big group there. Just try to race it out. See what you got for Thursday's duels in mini pack racing.
Well, they've got a big pack here, but you notice when Audra and those others were catching the 83, it let them get a huge run down the back straightaway, and they hit 203 miles an hour. So I don't think these guys are going to get anywhere close to their times. See, Adam Flickinger, though, is 4th on the board with a 44.444. Still 7.5 minutes left in this session. As Vince Freeze is going to pit, that's going to jack up this group. But right now, it's the 32 and the 1, Vince, Ford, and Chevrolet.
Watching how these guys are trying to study some things as I watch the tape. But now it looks like everyone's playing a key. 3 on the outside, 2 on the inside. What you expect from a 5? RJ's going for a 3-wide move.
Brent
Could
James
be simulating things.
just jumped up to 5th with a 44.563. Yepes to 8th with a 6.19. Now, while they're not getting the front row, what lap times you run actually matter because it'll determine your starting position in whatever duel you end up in. For those unfamiliar with the format here in the Digital Storm Cup Series, it is front row lock-in, and they keep those starting positions as long as they don't wreck their car in their duel race. 3rd through 38th is determined by the duel races. However, all the drivers who finished top 30 in owners points, or they're driving cars that finish top 30 in owners points, those cars are all locked in. So as far as the Go Home cars go, it's top 4 Go Home cars in each duel. So that's gonna fluctuate the transfer spot a little bit, but if they race their way in, they can start where they finish. And then the final 4 spots of 39th to 42nd go to the fastest 4 remaining Go Home cars. So these lap times here, they're going to be a big key in this because while RJ Bishop is top 30 in points, that puts the 78, 83, 36, and 28 as the fast 4 right now, Vince.
These guys have got a rabbit in front of them. That could be big. Big rabbits in front.
There's another pack. They're closing in on a 3-car pack that's not really formed up.
Doing.
Where's Yepes going? Is Yepes going to try and get something going here? It looks like he is.
That might be a good move, actually, Zach, because that helps
504.
RJ.
Yepes up to 7th. Hamill is flying 204 into turn 1. And these three have grouped up, so they are really pulling this pack now, Vince. We could see an untouchable lap time here. This is a situation that might not occur in the next group.
I don't say that. No shot that's not going to happen. You have experienced veterans in that group. But right now, this could be untouchable, though, for these. Oh, someone's slowing up. That's Lane.
Lane's just coming off the pit lane. That moves Hamill. That moves Audra up, but it didn't really mess up Hamill. Yepes is going to have his lap ruined. Can Hamill run a faster lap than before? No, 343. And nobody else in this pack except for Brent James, improved James with a 406 up to 6th. They've got maybe another chance.
As they do now.
Scott Roush is going to form into this pack. Still 4 minutes left in the session. And don't count out these three drivers right here. Williams, Ream, and Fogelman. They're side by side in this group once again. And I don't know if any of these drivers have been down to the pit lane yet. None of them are going to pit here. They're going to really be drafting up to this group now. Audra with a 193. Yepes 137. Bishop 142. James 167. Put Yepes to the pole.
I don't think it's over yet, Zach. I think Audra's going to get a big run here.
Audra's running the top. James on the bottom. And Audra has all the help. Look at the speed down the straightaway. But she jumps low. Now she jumps back high. 205 into turn 3. Yepes and Hamill, she is pulling away from them.
This could be the perfect money lap.
She's going to catch up right here. Oh, she checked up a bit. That might help Yepes more. 183 for Baranowskis. Yepes, 152. Doesn't go any faster. Hamill with a 244. And now they're all stacked up. Oh, Vince, if she didn't have to check up there, if she had been just a little bit further back, I think she would have had a big lap.
That's the way it goes, man. It's like I said, it's a matter of inches here at this plate race. It's kind of like a plate race right now, where the way they're going, but it's a matter of inches in qualifying. As you see, Hamill's all in the back of RJ. Ooh, RJ? Be careful, buddy. It's just Q runs.
Coming to 2 minutes left in the session. And they are not going to be running anything fast now unless they get it singled up. But Yepes on provisional pole with a 44.137 and Bishop in second with a 142. And that puts our fast four Go homers as Brent James in the 83, the 1 of Audra Baranowskis, the 32 of Derek Hamill, and the... Actually, I believe that is the 38 of Christian Russell, not the 36 of Trey Smith. No, indeed, it is the 38. So Christian Russell, I thought it was the 36, but with where the 38 is on the board, that TNT logo kind of makes it look like a 6 a little bit. But so Russell is 4th fastest out of those Go homers. If he needs to get in on time, Vince, he's sitting in a pretty good position here. But there's still a minute left. See Vince Freeze coming back out on the track. He is locked into the show. He is 25th in this session. Christian Vargas, another driver who needs to make it in on either the dual races or time. He sits 8th. He would be 5th in line at a Go homers, putting McShane 6th, Flickinger 7th, and Stephen Colon, last year's pole sitter, in 8th. I'd say if you're top 8 there, top 4, you know you're good to go. If you're 5th to 8th, you know you've got a pretty good chance of falling back on time. I want to say last year the furthest back on time we fell was, I want to say 9th or 10th, Vince, based on who raced in and who didn't.
I think it was 9th or 10th, maybe 11th, but one of those three spots. Yeah.
I remember, I think it was because James Ellison ended up missing the race because he was 1 spot shy or something like that. I think that's why Ellison missed the race last year, unless I'm thinking somebody else missed the race, but I'm pretty sure Ellison missed the race.
Telling you, Zach, this is the perfect group to be in. Because if you don't have the quick time, which most of these guys do, this is the perfect race setup. Look at this. You're getting so much information as we go to the flyby mode here.
Well, we're on standby there. Those guys finished what was their last possible lap. Look at Jack Holton down there at the bottom of the board with a 45.712. Never got to get in draft, apparently. See, all these drivers at the bottom of the board are going to have their work cut out for them in the dual race to avoid potential chaos. Like, you know, Henry Sanford's locked in, but starting position, man. Lane Sanders is a go-home driver. He's going to have to race his way in for sure. As the session is official. So Holton, Lane Sanders, Roy Ribbleton, Blaine Saylor, Logan Williams, Bradley Ream, Owen Miles, Trey Smith, Colt Hudson. Oh, and Scott Roush actually jumped Cologne there at the end. Actually, let's go down the list in order here. That would be a lot easier. So, right now on provisional pole is Diego Yepes with RJ Bishop to his outside. That is one go-home car and one one of the locked-in cars. So that means actually Yepes is one of the four locked in on time. I'm sorry, I misspoke earlier because we only allow 12 go or go home cars in, regardless of where they're ranking here. So Yepes would be number 1, Brent James would be number 2, Baranowskis 3, and Hamill 4. So those 4 drivers are locked in on time, Vince. Next 4 up would be Christian Russell, Christian Vargas, Priya McShane, and Adam Flickinger. That's about like a decent zone there. You've got McIntyre 7th and Bishop 2nd, so that would put Scott Roush 9th in line and Stephen Cologne 10th in line. And then Laura Chung and Reggie Fogelman would be 11th and 12th in line. So that's where you're not really looking too good, because if you have any of the drivers 15th or lower that are go home cars race their way in, you are not making it in on time. And those drivers are Mason Dagger, Colt Hudson, Trey Smith, Owen Miles, Bradley Ream, Logan Williams, Blaine Saylor, Roy Ribbleton, Lane Sanders, and Jack Holton. Henry Sanford and Vince Freeze are locked into the show. So, Vince, what do you think? We had 5 drivers run faster than a 44.3, 4 of which hit a 44.1, and I think they had the perfect condition laid out before them. I'm not sold on anybody running faster than a 44.3 in the quote-unquote veteran group.
Well, like I said, there's 2 ways to look at it, right? These guys are rookies and young. I did say that. They don't know what to expect. They just go out there and send it. Where the veterans, they like to play around and mess around a little bit with the air, and I mean, they can interfere with each other. I think someone can beat a 44.1 though. There's too many good drivers in that second group that I don't think they're just going to say, let's just going to let these youngsters take it to them. So, but who knows? If Yepes steals the show, I mean, that was a rowdy lap then.
And a Toyota has never qualified on pole, let alone the front row in Digital Storm Cup Series Daytona 500 history. So that would be a first. RJ Bishop, who drives a Ford, would make it every year that a Ford has started on the front row. They have gotten the pole 4 times, which was the first 4 years of the race. And then a Chevy was the first. It was the first time a Chevy got the pole last year with Stephen Cologne. So a Toyota has never gotten the pole. A Dodge has never gotten the pole. And a Toyota and a Dodge have never started front row. So we could be making some history this year. But we're going to take a step aside, and we'll be back with group session number 2. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Daytona International Super Speedway. We're getting ready for group number 2 for Daytona 500 qualifying. If you're just joining us, currently on the front row, Diego Yepes with a 44.137 and RJ Bishop with a 44.142. Bishop is a top 30 locked-in car. Yepes is a go-or-go-home car. And that still means that only 12 go-or-go-home cars will make the show. As Sebastian Kukalan, the man who always started in the back for the most part last year, and then found a way to finish way better than where he started, is the first one out on track. Right behind them is the man we thought was going to win the championship, Charles Sanford, who had an 8-win season. Moved all the way up the charts to 5th on the all-time wins list. Charles enters the year with 10 career victories, looking for that first championship this season. Zach Flickinger, same team, his own, but a number change to the 96 from the 77. Got Logan York, 2019 Jerky Pro champ, back at it again with Kyle Busch Motorsports, not Levine Family Racing. Jessica Shelton back in the 02 for S3. Allison Rain, possibly the biggest silly season move all year, leaving her own team to drive for Stewart Haas Racing. They got a lot of sponsorship for this number 10 this year, looking to bring Stewart Haas Racing a title and get her 3rd title of her career. Alexander Rowe is the veteran teammate in that stable. Reggie Fogelman and Priya McShane with the lesser experience. Amanda Evans will continue to drive for Evans Gardner Motorsports. There's Samet Oskin, one of the most consistent drivers in the past 2 seasons. He'll be back. He's back with Team Penske, I should say. Nate Rogers back at Hendrick. Jesse Turner back at Roush. Ferranti, the now lone car out of the Junior Motorsports stable. Dylan Young started on the front row for the 2nd time in his career and 2nd year in a row last season. Dylan Young is the... I can't put words together. Dylan Young's the only driver to start on the front row twice. His teammate car, the 22, which is currently driven by Samet Oskin, is the only car to start on the front row twice with 2 different drivers. Caleb Hoffman in 2017 and Oskin in 2018. As you see, Keith Rich for Bulldog Motorsports in the 53. Back with that team again. Peter Onjak elected to stay with JTG Daughtery despite some other offers. We saw Nico Tringali. Seth Cole now drives for S3 Motorsports. He's in the 07 Chevrolet. And there's Andrew Rich. 15 career wins, most all time. Now with new sponsorship in the form of Dr. Squatch. Raise Energy will still be on board for a lot of the season, but taking a step back this year. There's Zachary Fitzwater Sr. and our defending Digital Storm Cup Series champion, Jonathan Zorlin. Zorlin coming into the year tied 2nd all-time with 13 wins, next to Allison Rain. Seth Cole, by the way, 4th all-time with 11. There's Kev Shear back at it for Starcom. Cole Deaver still looking to snap his winless streak. That is now 2 years old. He's back at it with Richard Childress. James Ellison in the 24 for Hendrick Motorsports, making that team a 4-car stable once again. Ace Rogers in the 63 for Bulldog. Quinton Moore for EGM in the 89. William Brock back in the 19 for Joe Gibbs. His teammate currently on the front row. And that is it, I believe. Oh, it's a good thing, Vince, that this number 2 is so orange because those numbers blend right in the door. You cannot really see them. But they will. This scheme was approved, so no changes are going to be made there.
No, looks like just buffalo wing sauce all over the car. Anyway, looks like the 95, 96, that group, I believe it's the Flickinger group, seems to have the fastest. But you're right, Zach. Maybe you're right. No one's got that perfect mesh right now, as everyone seems to be strung out in 2, 3, maybe 4-car packs.
I mean, this is basically what we had in the first session, too. Logan York is already back down the pit lane after 4 laps. This group might have something. Andrew Rich is leading it. Fitzwater, Zorlin, and Rowe all in line. If they can play catching rain correctly, And then they could potentially catch Seth Cole and Tringali if they stay out there together long enough. But right now, here's another group. Dylan Young, Keith Rich, and Kukalan, they are flying hooked up, but Rich is going to make a move on Young, and that is going to ruin that lap time. And then this group is hooked up as well. Ellison leading this pack. Oh, and they went to pass each other. Fitzwater, though, with the fastest lap in the session of 44.575. But based on what the first group did, that would put him 19th. Tiebreaker based on owner points.
Looking really good, though, for this group. They can get back. Well, Allison Rain's up there. They could probably need more rabbits. So that first group had 3 or 4 rabbits to chase.
Remember, that fast lap for Yepes and Co., that came with about 3 minutes left in the session, so still plenty of time for something to be formed here, some kind of big pack, an opportunity or such. But these guys being 2x2 side by side is not doing them any favors. Logan York back out on the racetrack. You see, this 3-car group is catching 2 cars, but they are not really hooked up. Keith Rich is trying to go up top. That's not the way to go about it at all.
I told you, Zach, these guys, these veterans are playing aero games, I guess. They have so much experience, they're saying, well, I don't want you to get pole, kind of deal.
And I want to say, what's crazy is that Cologne and Dylan Young, they were in the second session last year. I think we did it in the same order. I'm not positive if we did the lower seeded owner points first or not. I can't.
We randomized it.
Did we randomize the sessions? I don't think we did. I think I put the go or go home cars all in the same group.
Oh, I don't know. No idea.
I don't know. It's such a small detail. I'm not gonna remember that. So, we're definitely gonna do it this way though in the future. Lower owner points first, higher second. But these drivers are not lining themselves up good at all. Now Ellison and Tringali are on pit road. These guys are packed up, but they keep racing each other. There's no way to build up momentum if you keep racing each other. They're doing 197 off the corner. Got to be going 200. Got to be going 200 off the corner.
We saw Audra 205 before that hip check, as I like to say, brake check towards the front stretch.
She was going 205 in the turn 3, and then she was going about 203 towards the tri-oval, and she checked it up to 200. These drivers are going slower than a 2-car tango of teammates at a S3 Motorsports here. Seth Cole, Jessica Shelton, always been great friends, now teammates. And Shelton's going to make a move on him. Maybe a little overheating there, trying to switch it up. But, yeah, Vince, I hate to say it, and I hope I get proven wrong, but I think I called it. I don't think anybody runs faster than a 44.3. It doesn't look like anybody's going to run faster than a 44.4 at this point.
That's the case. Diego Yepes is opening a pack of M&Ms in that hauler and about to go crazy with them. But let's see. Oh, here we go. Peter Onjak, the gangster.
Onjak with a 336. Sanford with a 517 and Zach Flickinger a 489. They must have been lined up single file for a good lap or so. Now Onjak making a move on Sanford, so that ruins that. However, that would put Onjak 6th out of all drivers. So that would be 3rd in his dual race. And these drivers just keep racing 3 wide. No, these guys might have an opportunity here. Kev Shearer is about to get caught by Nico Tringali. And Ace Rogers is pulling Cement Oskin. If Amanda Evans and Deaver get in line, this could be an opportunity for a lap.
Might be the only opportunity because these seem to be the best four of staying smooth, consistent, no moves. And as I say that, looks like Oskin's pulling away from Evans. Maybe will do a little brake trail right there. Drag the brake. There we go.
201 at the start-finish line. Does Oskin stay in line? It looks like he is trying to.
They're going to be good if they stay on this group because look what's coming up.
Amanda Evans with a run. They're not exactly in draft range yet. Evans is going to put a move on Oskin, but the first two here in line here stay single file. Now that's going to displace Oskin. That's not going to hurt Ace just yet. Nope, now it's hurting him. And that ruined that. Still a chance for something here. They're catching the 00 and the 7. Just under 4 minutes left in the session here. You see Ace jump up to 7th. Deaver up to 5th with a 547. Deaver might benefit the most out of this, especially if these guys start getting pretty racy. All right, Vince, here you go. What do you do? Stay in line, make a move? I mean, I know the answer, and Amanda Evans is not wanting to do it. 203 for Ace down the straightaway, but that's not going to be enough speed. They're running high. I think someone might be pitting up here. Actually, no, it's just trying to maybe get some momentum built up. Oh, Amanda Evans. Evans ran a 351 that last lap. She jumped up to 2nd.
There's Oskin. He moved up.
Deaver running 203 miles an hour again into turn 1. He might be able to try something here. 200 off the corner.
I like what I'm seeing. They keep doing this. He might actually be in a perfect spot.
Oh, Onjak ran a 275.
We'll get to him in a minute. Let's see what Cole can do. He's playing it pretty well.
Oh, he's
got
running
3 ahead.
He's running too high, though, Vince. He should be running in the middle.
Yeah, I think he'll move up, but I don't think it's going to be a pole-winning lap. Not by now. I don't know what that's about right there at the end. Should have went low.
Yeah, he runs slower compared to his previous lap. Andrew Rich is 23rd in this group. He's been leading this pack the entire time.
Oh, boy. Where's Peter? These guys have just not been catching anyone. They're just maximizing this group. Oh, maybe. Ooh, that's going to be close. Don't think so, though.
If this group gets a little more racy and they stay single file, they might have a chance at catching them, but it's going to take a 3-wide situation from this pack.
We're still in pit.
So with Onjak's 275, that doesn't move him up any, Vince. He still would have been 6th with the 336 lap. See Ferranti with a little improvement, a 748 from a 757. These guys are too busy racing. I hate to say it, but I called it.
Pop those M&Ms, Diego. Because that's what's about to happen, man. Because I don't think anyone's got anything for this 13 he laid down.
562 by Rain. She jumps up to 10th. Rowe with a 552 up to 9th, but they are still side by side. Sorlin ran a 474. He's in 5th now.
It won't do anything. That's the problem. These guys were too racy, and you can't be racy. You have to stay in line linear as much as you can. I mean, they could try to catch Seth Cole racing.
Ferranti's running 202 into turn 1, but he's going to get put to the outside. I mean, you got to remember, though, these guys are locked into the field, Vince. So I wonder maybe if they're just trying to see what moves they can make in the race that'll work and what moves won't work. Because the package has changed just a teensy bit. And that top line is going to be a lot stronger than it was in years past. We are officially on standby. So if a lap time doesn't get run here, to top. Yepes is 137 or Bishop's 142. The front row will remain the same. Shelton is actually going to pit. No changes there. Ellison slowest in the session of 44.881. Not the slowest time overall. So everybody in here at least got to get into the draft. And that makes the session official. So Diego Yepes and RJ Bishop are our front row. That's a first time for Toyota on the pole. And Ford continues to make history every year. They have had a car start on the front row, whether it be the pole or in second place. Now all they've got to do is have those cars survive. So it looks like there was a little bit of a skirmish on pit road there at the end, but nothing crazy. So Vince, we've got Yepes and RJ Bishop starting on the front row pending they survived their dual race. Fun fact, actually, I believe back in 2017, which was the only other year we ran dual races aside from last year, I believe the 18 won one of those races. I'm going to have to fact check that before the dual video, but I'm pretty sure the 18 won a dual race. I think it was Tony Green driving the car. I'm going to have to fact check that, so don't hold me to that just yet. But yeah, Vince, I mean, I think we're going to be in store for some pretty good dual races.
I think so too. Last year we had a couple early wrecks in the duels. I think Cole Hudson and Allie Rain won one, but I don't know what to expect. If you're saying the outside line's a little bit stronger this year, I think that will play a little bit to the veterans' hands. The tires wear off. Maybe towards the end if we go green the full way. But in the beginning, I expect it to be the shuffle and see who's up there at the front to maintain, maybe block some lanes. That'd be kind of cool.
All right, well, that'll do it for us here today. We'll see you guys Thursday night for the dual races.
Sign off.